at Jane Addams Bookshop in downtown Champaign, and Don's going to tell us a little bit about the history of the name of the bookshop itself.
Well, Jane Addams was a suffragette, social worker, activist in the early 20th century, and she founded Hull House in Chicago, which actually just closed recently, but the original owner of the bookstore named the bookstore after her when she had it in downtown Chicago.
Great. And Susan, tell us a little bit about the history of the shop since you've had it about 3 years now.
We purchased this about 3 years ago. This Christmas will be about 3 years. And it had been here for 25 years previous to that. We knew the owner's son. We were talking to him several years ago about if his mom ever decided to retire. We'd love to own a bookstore. And so he contacted us a few years ago and went from there.
And what's it like being in this great location downtown Champaign?
Well, part of the reason that we really wanted to buy the store, too, is Don and I are big supporters of the downtown, and we've been watching it grow over the years. And so to be able to own a store down here and be part of the community down here, we're very interested in the shop local movement, and so we just really feel like we're able to contribute to that.
And Don, tell us about some of the books that you sell here at the bookshop.
Well, we sell all kinds. I think we have about probably 16 or 17 different rooms. Science fiction, science, mysteries, foreign language, popular fiction, classic fiction. We bring in books of all kinds, and we have, to help people, we actually have to have a map. just to give you an idea, because somebody will say, well, I'm looking for a coin collecting book, and we do have a little small room upstairs, but it's kind of hard to get to.
Which is what's really unique about having a store of this size. We can have a little bit of everything, and we do try to have a little bit of everything. Occasionally we make new sections that we get an estate in that has a certain kind of book that we don't have that section, and so we create a section so that we can carry those books. So if you come in with the most eclectic interest, we hopefully will have a book for you here that you can look at.
I like to say every Saturday when I work, without exception, I think, somebody will ask for a book, and my first reaction is, there's no way we're going to have that book. And then I find it, and it's almost every Saturday.
And you guys mentioned earlier how you guys kind of started. I know you said you had an interest when knowing that this shop might be sold, but what really got you started?
We both always really, really enjoyed books. When our children were little, we would come in here with the children, and we just, I don't know, it was just a hobby that we thought would be great when we retired. Flora actually retired before we were ready to retire. So our daughter-in-law, Judy, who has always been in the library systems, wanted to work in a bookstore, so we approached the family and said, Judy, would you run the store for us? She said, fabulous, I'll quit tomorrow, and so she runs the store for us. So it's been a great family endeavor for us.
I'm now here at the Art Theatre Co-op, and I'm with Austin, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the history of the theater.
Sure. So the Art Theatre, the building, is going to be 100 years old next year. It opened as a movie theater in 1918, which is very early. It was called the Park Theater until 1958. And since then, there have been a number of different owners and a number of different business models for the theater. It was a adult movie house at some point in the 70s. In the past 10 years, there have been a few different people who've operated it. Sanford Hess, most recently, for the past 3 years. And there's a movement in all major film distribution studios towards a new kind of digital film. So all theaters are having to purchase new digital projection equipment, which costs anywhere between $60,000 to $100,000. And our theater does all right, but not $100,000 as spare change all right. So Sanford and a few other folks in town had the idea of turning this into a co-op. So let's ask people in town if having an art house cinema is important to them. And if so, you can buy a share, up to 9 shares, $65 each, and then that will become the equity or capital that we can use to purchase that equipment, and then we will be a cooperatively owned cinema. And within a few months, we'd raised more than $100,000 from more than 1,200 owners. So that will enable us to purchase the equipment that we need, and it also makes us the first cooperatively owned art house cinema in the country.
Tell us about some of the different films that you show here.
Sure. So our focus is on first run, what's called first run independent films. So that means just recently released independent films. We show a lot of stuff from world cinema, so foreign films. Cult classics. We use our late night slot on Friday and Saturday, which we do at 10 p.m., usually for cheaper prices. We'll play old sci-fi or horror films or Monty Python, different sorts of special events. And, we generally try to provide things that are off the beaten path or a little alternative to what the things that you can see at the other mainstream movie theaters.
What makes this theater special?
One thing that makes this theater really special is the audience. So unlike going to some other movie theaters, in my experience, you go in, you pay your money, you see the film, and you go out. But there's definitely a strong feeling of this being a community of people who are interested in film. And the moving towards a cooperative organization is only a bigger evidence of that. So when you come to see a film here, it's like being part of a network of people who are interested in this. And so there's more speaking and more conversation about the films that you see. And there's more active engagement with what you watch. And there's more conversation between me and the people who come to see the films, because they say, thank you for picking this. Why did you pick this? Do you think you could bring this? And that makes a bigger feeling of this being a community space.
Right. And would that have anything to do with your location being right here in downtown Champaign?
Yeah, being in downtown is really great. We're not on campus, so getting students here, we get some students here, but we're looking to expand that relationship. The fact that we have a bus line that runs directly outside of our theater is really helpful. But a lot of folks will come on the weekends and they'll go have dinner at one of the restaurants in downtown Champaign, of which there are many, and then they'll come see a film here. So it's easy to make an evening of it, and that's really wonderful.
And how do people find out what showings you're having at what time?
We have an email list which goes out to thousands of people, and I write that weekly, and I'll include notes about what the films are, why you should come see them. We also have a website that's always up to date, and a Facebook. And our Facebook has not just updates about the films, but also stories that are relevant to people who are interested in film, or comments about the films, and other sorts of personal touches to it.
Well, thanks so much for having us, Austin. It's beautiful theater.
Thanks so much.
I'm now here with Corey, and he's going to talk to us about Game Day Spirits.
Yeah, Game Day Spirit, to put it plainly, we're just a great Illinois fan store. We've been on the corner of 6th and Green here in the heart of Campustown since 1998. And as you can see behind me, we live in an orange and blue world, and we love servicing the Illini Nation.
Great, and tell us what it means to you to be right here on Green Street.
Well, it's hard to beat the corner that we're on, really. I mean, with the foot traffic, and then the proximity to parking right here, not just along the street here, but a city parking lot across the way here from us. It's a great location to be at, and we get a lot of foot traffic, especially on game weekends, and just throughout breaks in class. A lot of U of I faculty and staff know where we are, so we hope to be here forever.
And what are some of the unique products that you guys offer here at Game Day Spirits?
Well, we're going to take care of your staples, first of all. Your T-shirts, sweatshirts, everything that every closet at home probably needs to have. But more of our unique items are going to be maybe not your non-traditional themes, like some humor, some attitude shirts, things like that. And then there's some really cool novelty items out there right now that I know that we're going to be getting in here very soon. For example, this just came to my mind, but there's actually a toaster that will put the Illinois logo on your bread. Okay, just things like that. It's just make it fun to be an Illini fan.
Well, thanks so much, Corey. And for those that are maybe not right here on Green Street, do you have a website they can check out?
We have a couple. We often joke about our store here and what our hours are, but we're always open online, of course. So it's either GameDaySpirit.com, or we do fulfillment for FightingIllini.com, which is the athletic department's website.
Well, thanks a lot, Corey. I'm here at Illini Media, and today I'm going to go inside and I'm going to see the Illini Tech Center. WPGU 1071 and the Daily Illini. Let's go in and check it out. I'm now here at the Illini Tech Center, and I'm speaking with Tim, and he's going to tell us exactly what this center is. Tim, tell us about it.
Hi. Well, we like to pride ourselves on being the Apple experts. We're trying to bring the Apple experience into the Champaign-Urbana Campustown area. We have 7 certified techs on staff, we have an award-winning service provider, and we have some of the best deals on Macs in the area.
Yeah, and tell us about all the different products you have here in the store.
Well, beyond the Macs, we also have the iPads and the iPods, and we also have a lot of accessories designed to go with them, everything from cases to software to printers, anything that a Mac user or an iPad user might want.
And Tim, I also understand that you have several students working here at the center.
Yeah, we do. We think that it really gives our customers the best interaction. They're speaking with their peers who have been through the same sorts of classes, the same sorts of experience, and have the best understanding of their needs.
I'm here with Ashley, who's a afternoon DJ for WPGU 1071. And Ashley, tell us how you got started here.
Actually, I just had a friend who worked here, and he told me to come to the info night, and I always thought it was a really cool idea to work in radio, and then I just dedicated myself, and now I'm here.
Great, and what's the info night?
It's just where you come and learn about the jobs you can possibly take, and you apply and meet the people who work here.
So tell me about the steps in order for you to become an afternoon DJ to get here.
You start out with, you do a 3 to 6 a.m. slot once a week, and then you can move up. So I stayed in the summer, I did a weekend gig, and then I was on every day during the semester.
This is Courtney, the program director right here at WPGU, and she's going to tell us what it's like to run a student-run radio station. So Courtney, tell us about it.
Well, it's a lot of work. It's kind of hard to balance school. I have another job and here, but it's a lot of fun. I manage a staff of about 90 students. They're all really dedicated and love their jobs, so that makes my job easier as well. But the daily routine is basically I'm here in between classes and in between work, and I don't know, we all spend about 30 hours a week here.
Courtney, tell us exactly what WPGU 1071 is.
WPGU is kind of unique because we're one of a handful of stations across the nation that is actually a commercial student-run radio station. So we're unique in that sense that we don't rely on the university to give us money. We kind of have more of a hands-on, real-world learning experience because of that. We have to rely on advertisers to help support our station, and we have a sales staff that goes out and tries to make money for us. So we do have those real-world pressures that other radio stations do have. So it makes for a unique experience, definitely.
We're now at the 3rd floor of the Illini Media with Samantha, who is the editor-in-chief, and tell us a little bit about the Daily Illini.
Yeah, the Daily Illini is the independent student newspaper of the University of Illinois. We've been established since 1871, and it's all run by students, typically journalism majors, but we pretty much get anyone from political science to English to engineering, so we have a lot of students from all different backgrounds here, and we have a couple different sections: the news, sports, features, opinions, and cover everything from campus to Champaign-Urbana, hotspots, and all that kind of stuff. We have a copy editing department who reviews all the pages from what the designers have done. So we have a design department who do all the graphics, photo department. So they'll kind of make the paper and the content look pretty for us, and then that will go to the copy editing bay, and they'll kind of review and write headlines and kind of review all the content to make sure everything's fact-checked and makes sense and all the grammar is correct as well.
I'm now here at the Ideas Store with Gail, and she's going to tell us what exactly this store is all about.
Well, the Ideas Store is a very special place. What we do here is we interrupt the waste stream. We have donors bring materials that they no longer need in their house that might ordinarily end up in the trash or the landfill. Bring those to us, we organize them, and we put them out in a creative reuse way so that people might buy those materials and use again. And then any money that we make goes back to support K-12 education. So it's all about local, keep it here, and that's what we do.
I know this is probably a loaded question, but what all materials do you take?
Well, often it's what we don't take. I kind of describe it like what you have in your kitchen drawer you don't know what to do with. We take most of that stuff. So tape and paper clips and safety pins and needles, all the way to puzzle pieces and games and picture frames and baskets and fabric and stuff that you think is really useful to somebody, but you don't know quite what to do with it.
And as I walk through the store, I mean, I'm looking at all these different products. Tell us what people can use these products for.
And that's part of it, right? Part of it is like, okay, this is great stuff, but what do I do with it? Well, there certainly is a trend right now, especially if you follow Pinterest or some of these other types of websites that show you things that you can do with items you never thought of before. So part of what we do is we organize the materials a little differently than you might expect. And so we organize it by metal and plastic and paper instead of a paper punch or, that kind of thing. So that stimulates people's ideas about what they might be able to do with it, just the way we market it. The other thing that we try to do is put ideas out there. We have a very active Facebook following, and people put pictures of things that they have made with our items. And there are all kinds of now links and websites that show people what to do with an old tape dispenser or a sponge or paper clips or plastic bags and that kind of thing. So
great. And if someone wants to donate some items, how do they go about doing that?
Well, anytime we're open, we take items for donation. We're open from noon until 7 during the week, except for Monday. And then on Saturdays, we're open from 10 until 3. So anytime we're open, we can take deliveries.
Just tell us how you actually got started in this idea store business.
Well, it's really part of the Champaign Schools Foundation, and so it's what we call an earned income enterprise. So instead of going out and asking for money all the time, this is a way to make our own. And so it supplements the activity of the foundation that supports the public schools here in Champaign-Urbana. I got involved because I'm part of that organization, part of the overall organization, and I have a co-founder, Carol Jo Morgan, and the two of us put together ideas, and this is what we came up with.
Well, it certainly is an exciting store, so thank you so much for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
I'm now here at the Habitat for Humanity Restore in Midtown, and I'm going to go inside and check it out. Patty, tell us what this store is.
The Restore is a resale shop, and we accept donations from everyone in Champaign County of about everything. No clothing, no mattresses, but about everything else. We resell those to the general public, and all of the money raised comes back to support our local build program.
Patty, tell us where you're located at.
We're at 119 East University in Champaign.
And I understand you're part of Midtown, and why don't you tell us what that means to you guys?
Well, we like to support our local businesses. We like to keep our money local. The money that is generated out of this store does stay in Champaign County to build homes in Champaign County. So it doesn't go to international or anything. All of the money does stay local.
And what is the mission of the store?
The mission is to eliminate poverty housing. That's what Habitat for Humanity is all about. So the store is here to all of the money generated goes back in to support our build program. If we can cover all of the overhead, then all money generated and donated to home building does go to home building. It doesn't pay anybody's salary. It doesn't pay our power bill or anything like that.
And can you touch on the build program for us to let us know what that is?
We are in the process of finishing up our 63rd home in Champaign County. All our families go through a strict application process, just like you would any traditional mortgage. We sell our homes to our homeowners. That is a misconception. People think we give our homes away. We do not give our homes away. We sell their homes for a 0% mortgage. We're here to provide a hand up, not a handout.
And Patty, where are we at now?
This is our receiving department. Everything comes in through here. If you'd like to donate to the Restore, if you pull into the alley behind our building, there is the large overhead door at the corner is receiving. We can unload you here, and everything comes in. It's cleaned, it's tested, made ready to go out onto the floor. We do our best to make sure that everything we sell is in good working condition before we sell it to the public. This is also where we do take non-working electronics, and we offer free recycling of those. If people have non-working electronics they want to get rid of, they can bring them here and we will recycle those for them free.
And Patty, as we look behind us, we also see that you have some volunteers. Tell us about that.
We have a pretty small staff. We are a nonprofit, so we try to be responsible with our money. And the money that we get, we just as soon not spend on salaries. So we depend on our volunteers to get a lot of our work done. Without our volunteers, we couldn't get it all done. We average between 1,500 and 2,000 volunteer hours a month.
And if someone was interested in volunteering, how they do so?
They could contact me, 217-819-5114.
Well, thanks so much, Patty, for showing us around the Habitat for Humanity Restore.
Thank you for coming.